If you can survive the ambush, there's a chance that you can get back in the fight and protect yourself against an attacker. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson from Russia, and it shows us here an assault and attempted mugging that goes not so great for either the victim or the attacker. Teaches us some important lessons here about transitional spaces, about the way that attackers attack in order to overwhelm their victims, and about surviving the ambush so that you can protect yourself. The man that we're about to see come on screen here has just withdrawn about $6,700 worth of Russian rubles out of the bank, and this guy's followed him and whacked him in the head there really hard. If you go read the news story again, he hit him hard enough to really kind of damage him pretty good. Thankfully, they did catch this guy later, and you see him smack him right in the face there, and thankfully a bystander comes and, like, kung fu kicks the guy off of him, and that a perpetrator, the attacker at least, has run off for the time being, and the cops will catch him later. Now let's think about our victim here. You can see him bleeding out the side of his head. He's been hit several times with what the news story said was a taser. That's an interesting one. And now he's kind of unsteady on his feet. And you can see as they're trying to figure out what's going on, our good guy has a little delayed effect from the concussion there, and he goes down. And that's all the info I have on this. The news story says he recovered okay. Let's learn some lessons about this one. First of all, if you're going to withdraw sums of money from the bank, you better have your head on a swivel. You better be able to understand that you have to be responsible if anybody's following you. This guy followed him out of the bank, and he didn't see that coming, so he takes one right across the back of the head there. Now, here's where we talk about emotional fitness. You couldn't necessarily have prevented that first one, but emotional fitness says you know how to be injured and still stay in the fight and reorient yourself. Very difficult because this guy's got a serious concussion probably already, but this is what repeated training will do for you. He's taken several hits there, and you can see because his first instinct is to hold on to the bag rather than to stop the attacks, he takes another one right across the face there. Another reason that training is so important, so that you realize you got to stop the threat and not protect your stuff. He takes another one across the face there, another one, and finally that one there actually gets the stun gun or whatever it was out of the guy's hand. Now I want to talk about follow-up actions, especially if you're a bystander in this one. If you're somebody who's seen this, yeah, the guys run off, okay. Now you got to have your first aid skills on point. You got to recognize this guy's taken several shots to the head and to the face, and you got to get him to sit down and start rendering first aid until the paramedics arrive. And I'm not blaming these people for not having that, but this is something we should all have as self-protectors, because you're going to see this guy get real unstable on his feet and fall over here. Got to maintain your awareness here. Got to have your emotional fitness. Got to know your first aid skills in order to cover your asp.